Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking all about Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. And before we get into the video, guys, don't forget I am now a Disney travel agent, so go ahead and contact me for all your vacation planning needs, and you can go ahead and support me. And on top of the Disney promo that's going on right now, that you can get up to $1,000 gift card for your dining in Disney. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are at the entrance of Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. Like I said, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love the movies. I love all, the rides that they've made and all that kind of stuff and the video games. And I was really excited to step into Galaxy's Edge here for the first time as a huge Star Wars fan, as all of us here, and I think they did a great job with the theming and just showcasing what Galaxy's Edge looks like as you see us walking around here, and just all the detail that kind of sits all over the place. There's a lot to get into in here, between the ride that they have, the restaurants that they recreated, like, the Star Wars lightsaber experience, and look at this view that you have here with the Millennium Falcon that's like true to life size. And obviously it's a really popular spot. A lot of people are always taking pictures in here and stuff, but that Millennium Falcon, when you first see it, when you walk in, is kind of crazy how big it is and just how expansive it makes it feel like you're in. And they did a great job with the scale of that thing and just how everything looks. And of course, the Millennium Falcon ride is also really cool, where you're basically playing a video game while riding a ride, where there's someone who's the engineer, someone who's handling the missiles, and all that kind of stuff. And this is the area that you actually get food right out of the Millennium Falcon. It's really, really good. First of all, you can see all the detail in here, the animatronics that are going on right there, the detail of the whole entire outpost that's going on in here. The food is actually really good too. You guys will see here in a minute that the Ronto wraps is probably the most popular thing that you can get here. They have a one that you can get during lunch that's kind of like a sausage one, but I got the breakfast one. We came here for breakfast. This is the Ronto wraps breakfast, and it's really good. As you can see here, it has really good sauce that you can't really tell in here that kind of separates it and makes it good, but it is a breakfast sausage with an egg around it with that wrap. And with the sauce, it just tastes really, really good in my opinion. And then my friend also got this fruit salad here that you can see, which is really good. And then, of course, they also have Rise of the Resistance, which I am really, really excited about, because when I first went on it, obviously, a lot of people, I've been on it twice now, but the first time I went on it, everyone was always saying, like, oh, like, it's the best ride ever, and, if you're a Star Wars fan, blah, blah, blah. I never actually spoiled it for myself, though, and obviously, if you guys don't want spoilers, skip this part of the video, but this is the start of the ride, where it's kind of like the pre-show and stuff like that, and this hologram of Rey that shows up and BB-8 is just fantastic and really sets up to what you're about to experience. I mean, when I first walked in there and saw that hologram, it was really cool. And then we stepped out of here and I was like, wait, this is really awesome. It really feels like I'm stepping through. Again, the ride's like 20 to 25 minutes long, because it's not just the ride itself. It's the pre-show and walking through different areas and listening to the story and being a part of a Star Wars adventure. It is the only ride that I've ever been on that actually makes me feel like I'm in an adventure. And like I said, the fact that it's like 20 minutes long is just fantastic when you're going through the pre-show, going through this area here. And this is the second part of it, where you're now entering in, and now you're hearing, you're actually getting on the Millennium Falcon, and, you're going on this adventure and listening to the story that's being played out. And the characters in here and all the animatronics and stuff that are in here, as you can see here, are just fantastic. I mean, you can't really complain about this stuff. They did such a fantastic job with this ride, and it really kind of blew my mind on what I was experiencing the first time I went on here. And it is definitely my favorite ride of anything I've ever been on, between the theming, the pre-show, how expansive everything looks, how it makes you feel like you're in a Star Wars story. There's no other ride that gave me those feelings, from beginning to end. And even more importantly, was this long and made me feel interested every time I rode it. Even the second time I rode it through, it was just as good. So then obviously when you get out of here, you see all these stormtroopers. And this is kind of where my mind was really blown. I was like, they really went all in on this ride. Like, everything. I mean, they didn't have to go out like this. I mean, do you guys see exactly what you're seeing here? I mean, my mind was blown. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when you see this in person and you see all those stormtroopers in front of you and you see how expansive that screen is behind you, really feel like you just walked onto the craziest Star Wars ride that you can possibly ever imagine. I mean, again, my mind was blown when I saw these stormtroopers. It's really, really cool. And again, the detail in this room is just bar none. And then you kind of get separated into this Star Wars area, and they're kind of talking to you and doing their spiel and stuff like that, and how you're fighting for, the rebellion and all that stuff, and kind of fighting for the bad side, and seeing how that goes. And it's really really cool. They separate you out. Really really cool stuff. And then you end up meeting, you know you end up going into this area here that's really really cool. And you obviously see Kylo Ren sitting up there, and they're kind of telling you what's going on, that you're joining them and all that other kind of stuff while you're riding through this ride. And then of course something happens here. Again, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this, but it is really really cool that you actually get broken out. As you can see here, the red area is like a lightsaber breaking you out. And this is how the entrance to the ride finally happens, and you're broken out by the resistance, as you guys can see here. And then you're finally on this resistance ride. I mean, it's like nothing else you've ever experienced, in my opinion. Really really cool special effects when you're walking through. I mean, look at the life-size thing of this thing. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I know I keep saying how crazy everything is, but if you haven't rode this ride, I mean, this ride in and of itself, in my opinion, is worth the price of admission to getting into Hollywood Studios, because of how crazy it is. But you're fighting through all of these different things that are going on to that ride, and I'm not going to spoil the whole entire thing here for you guys, but this is definitely a must-see attraction for any Star Wars fan from beginning to end. It's just fantastic, guys. I would definitely check this right out as soon as you can. Then after that, obviously, there's Oga's Cantina. And this place is also a Star Wars bar that I think was done perfectly. Like I said, they did a really good job with this. You really felt like you were in a Star Wars bar. The detail, as you guys are looking at here, was just out of this world. They have the animatronic sitting over there, the DJ. It's really cool. The theming of everything and just how it makes you feel. The theming of the drinks was also really good. The couple of snacks that they have really make you feel like you're out there, and they have these expansive areas where people can sit down. Here's some of the food areas or food things that you can actually get here. It is some interesting stuff for sure. It's like a variety of meats and stuff like that you're actually getting there. And these are some of the cool drinks that you can get. Some of the drinks are bubbly, and then they have like these cool effects, as you guys can see there. But all of the drinks that everyone in my team had was really really happy with, and they were definitely cool and different than other drinks that you would get in other areas. So again, this is a Star Wars bar actually done right. I was really happy with it, and I've been here twice, and I usually go back every time I go to Hollywood Studios. The other thing I did here is the Star Wars lightsaber. You actually buy this, and when you buy a lightsaber, when you go there, you actually get to do this whole entire experience, which I think is really cool, and I'll let you guys listen in. The next thing we did after that is actually the Droid Depot, and this is really cool. You get to build your own R2-D2 or a BB-8 with all the different parts and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. You really get the full-on experience of like being at a depot and actually building all these things, putting all the pieces together, picking the voices, and it is really cool. Of course, none of these two things are free, the lightsaber or this one. They're all, the lightsaber I believe is like $250 for the lightsaber and that experience, and you can't do that experience without it. Same thing with here at the Droid Depot. It is really cool. Everything is really detailed inside, as you guys are looking at, and this ended up being my little droid that I made. So guys, if you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.